Hello folks and welcome back to another episode of CSGO Newsroom. My name is KRiPz and this is your perfect source to catch up with all the latest developments in Asian Counter-Strike scene. Let's start off the day. Today, the first thing we're going to be talking about is the StarSeries iLeague Season 5. Now we have emerged victorious. You can see them gloriously holding up their trophy. Look at Zeus, he's shamelessly standing there in his pajamas. Zeus shamelessly standing there in his pajamas and sticking his tongue out. Obviously, now we are very happy to win this, and this is going to be an absolute pleasure to watch this. They've won 2-0 against NRG, the finals. And I'm going to be very honest, they did not just win against NRG, they wiped the floor with them. Navi was so good, so good. They were outplaying NRG in each and every way. They were reading them like an open book. And Navi totally deserved to win this tournament. But I think at this point you might be asking something. KRiPz, I thought you were going to be talking about Asian Counter-Strike. Navi is not typically Asian. Well, I have a surprise for you. In this tournament, there were two Asian teams. Both of them were from China. One of them was Tyloo. The other one was VG Flash. You know what? Tyloo beat Navi. Yep, that is right. The very first game that Tyloo played in this tournament was against Navi and Tyloo beat them 2-0. I'm going to show you the scores right here. Take a look at this. On the left side, you can see the scores for all the Tyloo matches. On the right side are the scores for all the VG Flash matches. Now, you can see that Tyloo won 2-0 against Navi and they were up. They were on cloud 9, okay? Pun intended. But after they won against Navi, they could not really stand their ground. They lost against Godsent, even though they were able to take a map off against them. NiP and Now Sports, however, just beat them 2-0, and Tyloo was not able to qualify for the playoffs. VG Flash, on the other hand, they had a significantly worse run than Tyloo in this tournament, but they were able to, take a map off against SK, and they were also able to force SK into overtime on one of SK's strongest maps, Mirage. So I think that really calls for a round of applause. Both these teams can walk out of the tournament with their heads held up high. And even though Asian teams are considered underdogs in whichever international tournament they go, I think all the European and North American teams really need to take them, give them the credit they deserve. You can't just simply, shrug off these Asian teams anymore as underdogs, because you never know when they're going to upset you. You never know when they'll come up with some crazy strategy and beat you down. I mean, it was clearly visible. Okay, I saw the map against... I saw the match of Tyloo versus Navi, and Tyloo was able to beat them in Mirage. Okay, and Mirage, I think, is the strongest map of Navi. It clearly showed that Tyloo had done their homework and that they are a force to be reckoned with. Let's move on. The next thing we're going to be talking about is the Zotac Masters Cup Asian qualifier. Now, this tournament kicks off tomorrow. It's happening in Taiwan at the Computex Festival, and 8 teams are participating over there. The very first team is Eat My Chips from Hong Kong. Eat My Chips, no offense, but it's a little funny name. Now, Eat My Chips, the last time I saw them perform was in WESG 2018. At that time, they had a different lineup, and for this tournament, according to HLTV, they're going to be having some other lineup. So I'm really excited to see what changes they have made, how they have improved, or what they have changed in this team. The two top contenders of this tournament are obviously Order from Australia and MVP from Korea. These two teams are the top dogs. They are the favorites to win. And I want to see these two teams face each other. It's going to be a clash of the titans. And that is going to be the crown jewel of Zotac Masters Cup. The next team that is coming is Signature. They're from Thailand. Scars Absolute from Japan. They have also qualified. And... both these teams, in fact, they have qualified also for the Asia Minor that's going to be happening in July. So these are all top tier teams right there. Alpha Red is a relatively new team. I'm excited to see what they are going to... I've only seen them in a couple of local tournaments, but never in an international event like this. So let's see what happens. Now, XCN is from Indonesia, and even though they are not the best Indonesian team, Reka Esports is the top Indonesian team, XCN is good. And the thing I'm excited for is that XCN has an Indian player. Tejas A. Sawant is going to be making his LAN debut for XCN in this tournament. So I'm really excited to see the Indian and Indonesian mashup just coming up together and kicking the butts of some nice Asian teams over there. Sad story is a team from Taiwan that I have honestly never ever heard about before. And I mean, if they're in this tournament, then that means they're gonna be good. It's always really nice to see new teams coming up. It's an indicator of how well the scene is developing. You know that the scene is developing when teams that you've never heard of before are making it into international tournaments. That means more and more players are getting opportunities to showcase their skills. Let's move on to probably the most exciting topic of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the OpTic Gaming Indian lineup. Now, I have so much to say about these guys. When OpTic Gaming first announced that they are going to be looking to pick up an Indian roster, more than 1,400 applications came in. That is right, more than 1,400 applications, and only, I think it was 70, less than 70 in fact, that made it to the LAN tryouts in Bangalore. Now, let's take a look at who these players are. On the extreme left, we have Marzel. Marzel has been a force to reckon with in Indian CSGO, and he was a part of Trademark Gaming first. Now he's playing for NTD Gaming, and even though he's in the OpTic roster right now, he will not be joining immediately. He still has to complete the ESL India Premiership season right here. The finale of ESL India Premiership is going to be on 23rd of this month in Mumbai, Phoenix Market City, Kurla, and yep, that is going to be Marzel's last game under the NTD Gaming banner, after which he will be joining OpTic. He has been assigned the role of entry fragger, but Marzel is also a very effective lurker, so he's going to be juggling both those departments. The person standing next to Marzel is Forsaken. Now, Forsaken has had some controversy attached to his name in the past. What happened was that he was accused of trading accounts, and that's why he was banned from attending events for 6 months. But now that is in the past, and Forsaken is in the OpTic Gaming lineup. And Forsaken has such incredible aim. My goodness, I have played a deathmatch against him, and I must say I am absolutely terrified of this guy. Okay, I can't stand him. I can't stand against him. The moment I see him, I'm dead. That's how good this guy is. I have first-hand experience how much firepower Forsaken can bring to the table. So I'm really excited to see him in this lineup. The person standing right in the center, ladies and gentlemen, that is Uwin. And surprisingly, other than Uwin, all these players, they have played for professional teams in India in the past. Okay, they've had some sort of professional experience under their belt. Uwin is the only one who has none. He is a gem which Equitas and Blade discovered in the OpTic Gaming LAN tryouts, and he is the only person who made it into the lineup from the open tryouts. So I'm really excited to see what this guy brings to the table. He has been assigned the role of the in-game leader. Let's see how a newcomer into the scene can lead the most experienced pros of the scene. Standing next to Uwin is Antidote. Now, Antidote is not young. I mean, he's almost as old as me, but he probably looks very young. But let me remind you, do not let his young appearance fool you. He is a beast with the op. He's the primary opper of this lineup. And standing next to Antidote is Formless. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about Formless. Formless and Marzel, they both are from Bangalore. And both of them used to play for Trademark Gaming at one point. So the last tournament that Trademark Gaming played was the Taiwan Excellence Cup in Mumbai. And that is when Trademark Gaming disbanded. That was the last tournament for the team. That was the last tournament these both players played together. And they're practically like brothers. Okay, they're very good friends. Formless, he did not have a team. Marzel went on to play for NTD Gaming. But now, both of them, they have been reunited once again under the OpTic Gaming lineup. And I am so pumped. I am so excited to see what this team can achieve with the guidance of the original OpTic Gaming Danish lineup and with the help of all the coaches and all the support that OpTic Gaming has to provide to these guys. The last but not the least is the Uwin Asia Invitational. Now, this is a very surprising tournament. You know why? Because this tournament follows the Swiss format. That means out of the 16 teams attending this tournament, each team will play against every other team The top 8 teams will make it to the playoffs, and the bottom 8 teams will be eliminated. Now, before I go on, let's be honest, we would have expected at least Rekka, Scars Absolute, the Mongols, Boot Dreamscape, Firepower, and beyond to qualify. Rekka, Scars Absolute, and Mongols. At least these 3 were the teams that I was expecting to qualify and make it to the playoffs. But you know what happened? Something happened that shocked me. Look at this. These are the teams that got eliminated. Among those who were eliminated is Archangel Pro Team, Team Dynasty, Lucid Dream, and Linvision Gaming. Expected. Minisky dropped out of the tournament because of some personal reasons. The tournament organizers nor the team disclosed why did this happen. But look at this. Rekka Esports, they're the number 1 team in Indonesia. Scars Absolute, the best team from Japan. The Mongols, they're an absolute terror. They were not able to make it to the playoffs. You know who made it instead? MFC Gaming, eHome, Firepower, Boot Dreamscape, Beyond Esports, and WNV. Now, I would have expected Boot Dreamscape and Firepower to make it. Beyond Esports making it into the top 5, okay, that was also expected. But then, if you look at MFC, eHome, and WNV, now these 3 are Chinese teams. They are a considerable force in China. They are a force to be reckoned with. But then the only time we really see these teams play is in Chinese qualifiers or tournaments that have only Chinese teams. I think this is probably going to be one of the first time that I am going to see these Chinese teams face off against the rest of the teams from Southeast Asia. And that is going to be something, really exciting. Because I spoke earlier about how Tyloo was able to beat Navi. And now these Chinese teams, the underdog Chinese teams, okay, Tyloo and VG Flash, they are the top dogs of Asia. They will obviously, beat any Asian team that go into the tournament. But the rest of the Chinese teams, even they are stepping up their game right now. So I'm very scared of what China can do at this point. We were already aware of what Tyloo and VG Flash can do. They are able to beat down the top dogs of the world. And right now, the rest of the Chinese teams, they are beating the best teams in Asia. So I think we have a storm coming, guys. Chinese CSGO, they are really, really looking forward to change the landscape of the game. And at this point, I'm excited and terrified of what's going to happen in the future. That's going to be it from my side on the day. Do let us know if you would like us to cover any particular event in particular. And do give us feedback. Do visit AFK Gaming for all the latest updates in the Asian CSGO scene. Like our page, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you next time.